to my channel. My name is Joshua Parks-Stanford.
And I'm Alicia.
And today we're reading chapter 13, part 2 of Abraham and his many sons. Let's get this party started.
Genesis 13. So Abram went up from Egypt to the Negev with his wife and everything he had, and Lot went with him. Abram had become very wealthy in livestock and in silver and gold. From the Negev he went from place to place until he came to Bethel, to the place between Bethel and Ai where his tent had been earlier, and where he had first built an altar. There Abram called on the name of the Lord. Now Lot, who was moving about with Abram, also had flocks and herds and tents. But the land could not support them while they stayed together, for their possessions were so great that they were not able to stay together. And quarreling arose between Abram's herders and Lot's. The Canaanites and the Perizzites were also living in the land at that time. So Abram said to Lot, "Let's not have any quarreling between you and me, or between your herders and mine, for we are close relatives. Is not the whole land before you? Let's part company. If you go to the left, I'll go to the right. If you go to the right, I'll go to the left." Lot looked around and saw that the whole plain of the Jordan toward Zoar was well watered, like the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt. This was before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. So Lot chose for himself the whole plain of the Jordan and set out toward the east. The two men parted company. Abram lived in the land of Canaan, while Lot lived among the cities of the plain and pitched his tents near Sodom. Now the people of Sodom were wicked and were sinning greatly against the Lord. The Lord said to Abram after Lot had parted from him, "Look around from where you are, to the north and south, to the east and west. All the land that you see, I will give to you and your offspring forever. I will make your offspring like the dust of the earth, so that if anyone could count the dust, then your offspring could be counted. Go, walk through the length and breadth of the land, for I am giving it to you." So Abram went to live near the great trees of Mamre at Hebron, where he pitched his tents. There he built an altar to the Lord. Genesis.
All right, so that was Genesis chapter 13. And basically we was talking, this is after Egypt, and where basically whatever Abraham didn't go, Lot went, I think.
So they were
yeah,
traveling
explain this.
together. They came from Egypt and went to Negev, and then they kind of like realized that they had so much like livestock and they were so wealthy together, and they knew that people would come and try to break them apart, tear them down, and they didn't want any like tension between each other. So they decided to split up. They said, "Hey, we're family. We're both good. Like, you know, God promised to give my offspring, which is Lot, which is Abraham's offspring. He promised him and his offspring to be wealthy and to like be successful. So he said, you know what, you just go. Like, if something ever happens, you know, I know where you are, this and that." So they kind of split off. And so Lot had left and he settled near Sodom, which was very wicked at the time. They said this is before, so there was a little foreshadowing. This is before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. And as you heard, Sodom was very wicked. So I can only imagine that because he destroyed both of them, they must have both been wicked in their ways. And so, yeah, what's that? But yeah, I guess what else I just got was that that when Abraham had started exploring the land that God told him that he would give him, that he promised him, he said literally, you can look and you'll see your ancestors, your generation will continue to move on because you obeyed my command, because you listened, you left, and you trusted me. And because of this, he said, hey, you know what, go find some, like, explore the land, go find somewhere to settle. So he ended up settling in Hebron, and then he built an altar to the Lord. So you kind of notice, like, every single time he leaves and he goes to do something that God says, and God says something to him, he'll build an altar. And so I think that that's kind of probably how we got so many churches that we have now. It's just like, like I wonder how their altars were. Like, was it like, you know, how you have a big church or a small church and you have an altar in the front? Like, was it more just an altar or was it like a church?
The way it sounds like it was just an altar, but like not before. Like they had like started churches and stuff.
Oh, okay.
But they could have had churches back then.
Yeah.
But I think it was just focused on the altar to the Lord.
More so like where they pray specifically.
Yeah, only specifically like pray and not like preach. I feel like if they said if they were talking about preaching, they would have said it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
that's actually smart because then it's like it makes me think of to us now. Like they built altars just to pray to God and to make sacrifices. We don't have to do that.
Yeah.
We have the luxury of knowing that Jesus died for us and that because he has given us his Holy Spirit, we have an open and direct relationship with God one-on-one without having to build an altar. Now, like, I can pray while I'm driving. Now I can pray while I'm walking. Now I can go pray in my room. I don't have to build an altar just so I can give back to God. So that's interesting. That was good that you said that. What would you say, like, this, like, show, how does this show, like, God's character? Like, what kind of, like, did you get from that?
God's character? I feel like his character was, like he wanted Abraham. Well, I'll say Abraham.
Yeah.
Abram to try to spread the word, but build an altar for other people to come and pray. If I said that right.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would also say like he kind of like he never like lied and he always fulfilled his promises. He told Abraham leave and he went and he said this is what I'm gonna do for you, and he never like unsuccessfully delivered. He always delivered everything he said he was gonna give him. He said, I'm gonna give you this, you got it. Now he's wealthy. Now he has all this cattle. Now he has too much livestock that he had to literally separate from his son. So it's just like all that. Like he never lied. He just always was like, okay, I'm gonna give you this. I'm gonna give you that. I'm gonna give you this if you do this for me. And he did it for him and he got it. So yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Well, that was part number 2 of Abraham.
Oh, I have one more thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
I would say just like, okay, what?
Nothing.
I would just say also about God's character is that he talked about Sodom being wicked and how he destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. Like, that just makes me like, you know, you say God-fearing. Like, be fearful of God. Like, no matter, like, you know, yes, you know, we all fall short of the glory. We all sin. But it just makes me think, like, how they were so wicked that God said, no more. I'm not putting up with it. Like, I don't have to. Like, his grace is amazing. His love is, like, amazing. But it's just, like, they was that bad that he said, I'm destroying the whole thing. Like, that just makes me, like, whoa. Like, not wonder what they did, but you know, just to be like faithful and to put my all into God, not to just play in his face, because they did, and obviously they got destroyed. So yeah. I would say that he's not kidding, and he can do whatever he wants to do. He just chooses. He just chooses to show us grace all the time, every single day, especially when I be speeding. But you know, that's another story. Yeah. Anyways,
I mean, that make him slow you down no time.
Yeah.
Make it rain, they gonna slow down.
Okay.
Or snow.
All right.
And make it slow down. All right, that's another video. Make sure like subscribe, turn on notifications, and do all that.
Why do you talk so fast?
Let's try this again. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on notifications, do all that.
Follow my page and like this post on my Instagram at Jife, Jife 247. I said Jife.
You did. I said Jife.
No, you say Jife. You say you whatever you say, something that doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Anyways, Jife 247. And yeah.
And aloha. We out of here.